Let's take a moment to look at this striking artwork of Hades. Yes, the god of the underworld from Greek mythology, but not as the ancients imagined him. This is a modern reimagining, bold and unapologetically dramatic, steeped in myth, but very much told through the lens of contemporary comic art. Now, when we talk about Hades, we often think of a shadowy figure lurking in the depths, brooding among the dead. But in the original myths, Hades was never really evil. He wasn't the devil. He ruled the underworld, yes, but with a kind of grim fairness. He was a necessary force. One of the three brothers who divided the cosmos after the fall of the Titans. Zeus taking the sky, Poseidon the sea, and Hades, the realm of the dead. And though he ruled over shadows, he was also associated with wealth. All those minerals, the treasures of the earth. He was known as Pluton, the wealthy one. What I find fascinating is how this artist has chosen to channel that legacy. Look at the figure. We're not seeing a quiet, somber lord here. This Hades is a fiery warrior god. His skin glows a deep red, which instantly signals power, aggression, even danger. Red, in many cultures, evokes vitality and blood, but also heat. And here, it clashes beautifully against the teal and black background, which feels almost like cracked stone or shattered dimensions. It's as if the underworld is breaking open behind him. The gold armor he wears, ornate and blazing, doesn't just say warrior, it says divine. It radiates heat like it's been forged in the depths of Tartarus itself. And the flames licking from his shoulders, they're not ordinary fire, they feel spiritual, otherworldly. Maybe they're the burning souls of the condemned, or maybe it's just raw godly power leaking from his form. And then we notice the skulls, one on his shoulder, another on his belt. They're reminders, not of violence for its own sake, but of his realm. They mark him not as a killer, but as the ruler of death, the judge of souls. There's also something wonderfully layered in his expression. His face is stern, eyes glowing white, intense, but not mindless. He's thinking, calculating. There's a sharpness to him, echoed in the strong lines of his beard and brows. His hair flows back in that classic mythic style, somewhere between a king and a barbarian warrior. And the art style itself. This is clearly rooted in comic book aesthetics. The bold outlines, the dramatic color contrasts, the exaggeration of anatomy. It reminds me of artists like Joe Madureira, with that fusion of fantasy and superhero energy. There's also a touch of Mike Deodato in the use of shadow and sharp geometry, and even a hint of Jack Kirby in the chaotic energy of the background. The sense that something cosmic is always just on the verge of exploding. That's not something we see in traditional depictions of Hades, but it instantly suggests something supernatural, even godlike. It almost evokes Hindu deities like Shiva, who also dance between creation and destruction. Here, it amplifies his power. This is not just a man, this is a force. What we're seeing is a version of Hades that's been filtered through generations of storytelling, through fantasy epics and superhero mythologies. He's ancient and new at the same time. And that's what makes this piece so compelling. Not just the technique, but the way it takes a story we think we know and makes us see it in a new light.